And I think more than ever, that CT-sided start is exactly what Astralis needed. You could see them waking up and warming up towards the end on Ancient, but without any buffer, without any breathing room, it wasn't meant to be.
Let's get into this one then. Astralis on the CT side. And Heroic already with a plan up their sleeve. They're leaning down towards B. It's pretty slow right out of the gate. Astralis, they're going to have to be patient in this one now. One little overstep and you might give Heroic just what they want. Zip instead swings out early and is able to kickstart this pistol round for Astralis. A 5v4 to open up.
Yeah, Heroic put so much faith there in Stowney at the P250 to try and find that opening kill. Be left to Cadian instead. All of these players getting spotted towards the B bomb site. Astralis should know that the bomb is in tow as well. They may have lost their con control, but Zip is still here standing tall. Glaive moving in with those double Julies as well. He's going to try and shred him, but headshot by Shush. Zip flash back in for more. They've already crossed to the jail. They're right by his side. Config provides the cover. Zip will at least send the fear into Heroic and make them reset going all the way back.
Yeah, time's the one thing they've got, and even that's quickly eluding them here. They're going to take a long routing all the way back around through spawn out into middle now. For all intents and purposes, these are fresh angles for Heroic. They might have to waste some time clearing them, but they don't seem too pressed. Running amok up the long side, Farley.
Perfect flank.
Is he going to hear this? Will he commit? Yes, he will. Starting to move in behind them now. Round in the palm of his hands. They checked for him. He's got a 1v1 here, and he needs to win this. Testez manages to get on out of there. Here's the rotations. Config's already up, but he's gone right away. And that's the A bomb site now, right for the taking. Bomb going down, and Heroic pressing the issue in the 3v2.
They've got so much space, but Zip is taking it right back to spawn side plant. Heroic move forward. Tessus goes deep, and Zip's read it well, but it doesn't matter. Drive-by by the P250, and Farley with no kit can't stick. A quick tap to force a reaction, and Tessus is quick indeed. 2 kills off his P250. It gets juggled around there for Heroic, but it puts up a lot of damage. Man, Farley needed that flank kill. He had ample time, ample chance, and ample opportunity, but wasted. And Heroic find that pistol. Sneaky steal. And only creates more worry for Astralis in this grand final.
They're going to force back in. Farley's actually taking a peek down middle early, and Heroic once more reasonably measured, all with the exception of these players in Connector who are looking to try and get a bit of real estate going here for the Heroic squad. They double molly it. Good utility usage just to clear out all these close little gimmicky angles that could be holding a pistol player. Con is now owned by Heroic. And this is going to give them a lot of options in the mid-round, right? Can quickly duck out, can feign an A play and fall back into this B play, which is what it's looking like right now with 3 grouped over at Monster. Zip is here. He started the pistol by nailing a shot down range. Now he's got to do it with the scout. Instead, it's damage going his way, and Refresh is disrespecting that smoke, getting ahead of it. Doesn't want to hang around, doesn't want to risk giving away this early kill. Instead, patience is a virtue. Cadian and Stown with kills apiece.
I mean, you understand that peak for Glaive, right? Not only is it supported by utility, but they just saw Heroic close in Monster. He thinks he's getting a close-range Deagle fight. Heroic have already pulled back and are spamming the smoke. This team is so always on the same page, and they're so good at bailing when they don't like what they see and then execute. They go all the way back around again, like the pistol, and they find the empty bomb site. Config can kill Cadian on the lurk, but you've lost A in the process.
All right, this is getting interesting now, though. The Deagles have come in with a couple of key frags here. No real guns retrieved, but a 3v3. Astralis are interested in giving this one a go. There's an entirely separate fight going on over here towards Connector. Refresh just holding for a swing, while the rest of Astralis are now working their way out through Bank and Dumpster. Closed peak for Testez, and now they've spotted the Conrap as well. It's looking good for Heroic here. Testez having one hell of a game to open up. It's another multi-kill round to follow his double in the pistol. And Blame F sent packing, sent out of there, just going to save the Deegan armor into the next.
Yeah, finds a scout on the way out, but it's only a little more sustenance for the follow-up eco for Astralis. It's going to be Heroic sitting pretty right now. Fantastic start to the game. We saw all conversions come through for either team back on Ancient. Heroic looked to keep that streak up of 3. Heroic already really trying to test Monster in these the first rounds, right? Patiently holding in the pistol, trying to push through the smoke in the second. We've got nades set up here for Astralis. This is great as well on a map like Overpass, where CT spawn is very safe to rotate through, because, you know, if you want to lob the Monster or lob the Monster short, if Heroic take B, that's great. Stop a plant. But even if you hear Heroic running up on the A short side, you can go up CT and lob them on dice as well. So options are open. It's something that the Cloud9 roster love to do on their ecos as well. And right now, it's the perfect read for Astralis. They're poisoning towards short, however. And the bulk, of course, coming out through the other side. Mollies go through. Astralis reposition their nades. Let's see if these are any good. Spot from the scout, and in come the HEs. Good damage, but the rifles are tearing through.
Yeah, you got a couple of low players now to contend with, right? Softened up for this scout on Farley. The Eagle of Blame F could look to get involved as well. There's the USPs with kills. Silently rising to the occasion. Config tapping out a second.
No way.
Blame F's Eagle goes in with another, and it's only Shush left standing. 1 versus 2. And the weight of the world on his shoulders, up in heaven, doesn't know where he's getting shot from. And there's the closer.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Deegs, HEs, USPs, Astralis got them all. And those are some crispy headshots coming out from Blame and Config, even on the Deagle spam. What a round to steal away. I love that reposition back into heaven. You could see that last player had no idea where they were getting shot from. The silencer effect that makes that A1S so powerful. And Astralis are now coming in with a full buy earlier than they ever should have. Heroic are going to take a very light investment. That was supposed to be a free round. Anything but. Blame has confirmed the eco is in play for Heroic. That will give Astralis a little more pep in their step. And this backstab for Glaive could be perfect. And they've walked out through the smoke. Zip, in a world of bother, they're running him down. They haven't even looked at him. They've gone right by on the site, in the middle of default. Refresh, cut down in the sky. They will find that barrel player, but Config finds Tessens through the smoke, and this one's under wraps easily.
Yeah, I mean, if there ever was going to be a confidence boost, you know, it's winning a full eco round like we saw just moments ago. You know, that's gonna switch you on a little bit. Heroic went super conservative in that last round with the goal of bringing everything into this one, including that AWP on KD and a chance to see the head-to-head between him and Farley. Instead, he's posted, holding for a con swing. Now, oftentimes, you'd be expecting a force in that previous round, so question's going to be, how ready are Astralis for the full breadth of this buy from the Heroic squad?
Yeah, AWP included, right? It's very nice. That's why Heroic took the eco. They didn't want to mess around with, you know, Gorilla armor and limited util. Cadian finding that pick on B. Glaive aggress back on short. So Heroic with a nade onto the door. It actually works in their favor in this round. Not often you see an AWP just running through Con and posting on that angle, but he had plenty of bodyguards. 3 through Con, Tess is working mid, and Refresh even sitting in the monster smoke. He's getting ballsy right now, so's Farley, but his scope eludes him rather, looks the wrong way, does recover as Tess has whiffed the spray, and Refresh won't commit because now he's the one tasked with the bomb. Heroic have gotten past that AWP, taking a lot of space, but the package is late.
Yeah, the bomb being late could cause problems, but right now, Astralis, they're not aware of that, so they're trying to reinforce this A-bomb site. Shush, caught looking the wrong way, holding that AWP's fallback. Bomb's having to come through middle, so right now Heroic, their attention's divided. They're worried about Connector. They're going to divert some time to moving through it. They know they've still got this real estate now, and now look to lean back into the B play, but they're making a lot of noise. Those shots from Blame are only going to signal that Astralis are aware of this.
Save it, it's done. 15 seconds, there's no way. They've announced this so loud that Astralis already have 2 players and the backstab connecting for config, so Heroic give it up. They give the respect over. The 5-on-4 falls apart. And Farley really saves the data. That would have been a 5-on-3 with full long control, with Tessa's freed up to go back for the bomb. Refresh could have committed on his monster lurk as Heroic went for an A attack. It all just came crumbling down off of that one AWP kill. And that's a big question in this map, right? Because Farley didn't really say his name too much back on Ancient, didn't really have a lot of impact at all in that T side. We said how hard it was. Cadian didn't even wield the T-Orb, he didn't need to. But on CT Overpass, it's his playground right now. So hoping to see a far better game out of Farley in map 2.
Oh, the flash is over mid to try and let Tesses close the distance with this Tech-9. Gonna require some combat AWPing here out of Farley if he wants to stay alive. Blame F has missed his timing. Tesses heard and now spotted over at short. Diverts his attention back to Com, but not for long enough. There's the backstab from Blame F. The rest of Heroic want to come through this monster smoke.
Oh, the flash could hit him.
Fade Zip on the other side. Not going to get blinded, but they're already past him. Shush trades that out immediately. Glaive now at the barrels. Only good for the first.
Oh my god, he's going to go right through. Blame tries to keep this site intact. Down, hits a blinder off the AWP. Bogdan's law in effect. And flashing Cadian back into the short side. Astralis hear this. They know what that means. 2-on-2. Everyone lurking around this lower site, and another fight. Blade takes it, he wins. Stam can't trade, and he expects respect. He'll get nothing of the sort. Blame takes matters into his own hands and keeps Astralis in the lead. Very brawly game right now.
Yeah, I like the position out of Zip, man. I really do. You know, it shows that he's very familiar with the kind of cards you're going to get dealt on a lot of these B plays. It's not uncommon for Heroic to go pushing that monster smoke, and that's really on either side of the equation here, right? CT, T side, they're used to going through it. This round, they're leaning back B again. Astralis have got the info that mid is clear. They triple pushed it early. But that does mean early on, there's a vulnerability inside of the B site. All those resources deployed to go and get the space to A. And so it's a 2-man hold that's got to win it out versus the Pistols. And so they will. It's the 2 vintage Astralis players that rise to the occasion here. Yeah. No entries into the B site today.
Yeah, those nades, they give it away for Heroic, right? They're hoping they can get a kill and pop off the back of it, but with Glaive jump spotting, he moves away just before the Triple HEs come in. And then the flashes thrown by Heroic are actually really, really good. Everyone's blind, but they come in too early. By the time players are out monster, out short, flashes have already faded. And I will say Zip, he's had a lot of criticism. He has been having trouble in recent months, not been in top form. We know that for Astralis. A few of these championship players have had trouble. But I think as far as his roles go, one of his better ones right now is that B anchor on Overpass. He is going to be super solid. So this is a great map for Zip to show us what he can do in a final and and make the haters doubt just that little bit more. Nice round out of Astralis, keeping the Pistols out of control. They are stringing together rounds right now. Talking things to look out on the CT side, I think Blame is another massive factor. In terms of CT aggro, he is the man to take middle in so many of these positions, especially anti-eco, but he loves that party fight, smoking deep towards Fountain, the double mid mollies, all these things Astralis can and will use at some point. Not right now. Blame's chilling in con. He spent most of his half here. Farley has the support towards middle. Shush needs to win this fight. Or again, Astralis just have too much real estate. Beautiful shot. Wallbang spam from the B site will do a bit. Shush is on 10. And Farley's even been pushed back further.
Yeah, Farley's in a bit of a rough spot here, honestly. He's kind of trapped at long toilets. He doesn't know what's happening over at long right now, and he knows they're in connector. So he's stuck here, and he's just got to fight to the death, does Farley. There's the first. There's a way out over at long, but he doesn't have that info. Thankfully, his teammates come in to grab it for him. Now this double long side start to shift back over for Astralis. Glaive flashing them in for this swing. Farley is gone. Config's found one in the meantime down on the B side of the map, but it is this A play. The bomb still all the way back at T-Ramp.
Wow.
Glaive holds the line for now. Will go swinging back out, but doesn't want to go committing to these fights if he doesn't have to. He's super low here, so he's just buying time. And that's perfect for Astralis because of this bomb being so far away.
I mean, they're so confused. For a second, Config goes B and starts lobbing utility. Why are Heroic going cold when they were trying to run all the way into A? But that bomb being forgotten has thrown a spanner in the works. It might even work in the favor of Heroic as Astralis peel back out of the bomb site. Only one man inside. It's Zip. Glaive on a weird off angle, and there's no smoke to cut him out. He is surely going to get 1-for-1 here. Acadian checks it. Stown trades the kill, but no time for the bomb means Astralis finds 6. Dude, this util is incredible for Astralis right now, right? We were crediting Heroic with their flash peaks back on the CT side of Ancient, but Astralis are one-upping that right now, right? Back towards B. Every peak on Monster is set up by utility, up from Heaven or down from the back of Pit. Even on A, Glaive waits so patiently for Config's flashes coming up from lower. Those are beautiful peaks from Glaive up on the A site. And Astralis right now are putting on a show.
Yeah, it's a lot more synergized as well, right? It really looks like they're on the same page here on the Astralis side. There were moments on Ancient where occasionally they looked a little lost, like maybe, you know, they had two different ideas as to how to play around out here. It's all coming together. Farley in mid, trapped in the corner now on that re-swing. Best he could have hoped for there was a 1-for-1. Is that worth it?
They've got to know Blame's position, right? Especially seeing an AWP in con. It's very dangerous to leave that player solo, and Blame has been here every single time. So you can see Heroic still have their eyes on this connector area just in case he's not trapped. Blame can escape through the door through short. It's not a position Astralis have, but Heroic aren't there either. Config's regressing. This is very dangerous.
He might get caught by the AWP. These are the kind of moments Cadian wants, and there it is! Config on the receiving end of that quick flick from Cadian.
Lovely stuff. And yeah, back to B is the right call. Every time Heroic have found a pick on A, they've sped the pace up. They've run through short. When they see Farley AWPing long, they just try and bypass him. Stown's done his job. He's just shown contact on long. That will make Astralis really think this is the commit. There's still a player back down on B. Zip will hear anything thrown from the Monster side. He's even heard those steps. Blame can start to shift into position now. It will offer up a timing for Stown on this backstab. But at the moment, Astralis know what's up.
Yeah, this is now kind of the problem, though. Zip's got to dedicate all his attention over here towards the con fight. So right now, they get into the site for free.
Wow.
Glaive, the only hope, the last man standing. And a 1v2 teed up. Wow. There's Refresh. Out with a wide swing, full support from his teammate. Makes life hard for Glaive, makes life hard for Astralis.
There are some serious mind games going on in this matchup already, right? I'm loving some of the calling we're seeing. You know, these very heavy mid and con setups for Astralis, and Heroic finally break through it, finally get a favorable fight. The late backstab to Blame. The whole round, they never saw him in con, but they knew he was there. They knew he was tucked in. And so that backstab is perfect for Stown. Sets Heroic up for a B execute, and they break through finally.
Yeah, it almost makes me not like the kind of very restricted one-and-done position that Farley found himself in, right? Because as you kind of been highlighting, because Blame is in con every single round, like you kind of got a hell of a lot out of that one fight over in middle.
Yeah, I mean, that's a perfect position if Heroic have bad spacing and bad trading, but it's even something Cadian's been talking about in interviews. It's like, yeah, one of the things that we're trying to tighten up is our spacing. There were a couple of times on Ancient where it let them down on B, like there was one round where Refresh was 10 health, he was running up ramp, and his team was still at the bottom of ramp throwing utility, but by and large, it's been solid. That round was a perfect example, both party and mid peaks at the same second, when Farley could only go 1-for-1. Something that Heroic need to stay on top of on this T side to avoid Astralis grabbing kills and getting out. But this is more like it for Blame.
Yeah, they've got no idea. They've just not seen anything like this yet. Blame F aggro in middle, and Tessez swinging him, at least going to guarantee the trade.
Oh, did they see him? I don't think so. Farley doesn't know what position's been taken. Are they in the playground? He's going to risk it with one shot, but that's all he'll take. Back out to the bomb site. Config now takes a new position. but the rest of Astralis sit back on B, waiting for a commit.
Yeah, with Config also in con, right, and with Heroic having dealt with Blame F early, they might be under the assumption that these rotates are not going to be as fast because they've dealt with that con component right off the top of the round. That's not the case, however, and with Config endorsing this position, playing it all alone, he's able to move in for a rotate the moment it's needed. He's actually going aggressive now, right as Heroic look to start making their presence known outside of B.
Did that Heaven Smoke land? I can't even tell from the map, but this could be worrying if not. Farley has that AWP on A. Meanwhile, it's up to Glaive again. Zip has stopped the short component, and Glaive's just tucked in on the pillar. They have no idea he's still here. Molly is good. Zip's forced out of position. He tries to get some value out of it. Glaive will certainly do so, but Knife Out refreshes there to trade.
This gets so awkward now with so little time left. They've got to rush the plant. That's going to trigger peaks out of Astralis, but it doesn't go their way. Farley alone in the clutch. Missed shot on the flick. Him and Cadian going blow for blow. Does he want to commit with this retake, or is it just going to be the save? The money is gone for Astralis. He's moving up into heaven. Is he still going to give it a look in?
They're not. They're not even looking at this position.
They're not considering it.
Oh my god, he had a chance. He had a timing.
On the back of nothing being given over, he is out of there, man. He is gone. Farley saving that all. And so Heroic, they do get that one over the line. I want to draw attention, man. We were bringing up Config over in Connector. He wrapped all the way around, came in on a backstab, and was being held by Cadian.
Ouch.
The entire time.
What, through Monster?
Yeah, and that only tipped the scales even further in favor of Heroic. It shows that Cadian's starting to feel like he's building a bit of a read on the game again, starting to predict some of these Astralis movements ahead of time.
I mean, that's a great read considering what I think about how that round started, right? It was Blame moving into middle. You traded 1-for-1. You know Farley was AWPing party. He fired off a shot. Like, as far as you're aware, that's all the control there was in middle. The guy who's been in con every round is dead. You shouldn't have to worry about flanks, but, you know, Config's the A rotation. He's the guy who's going to be moving through CT a lot of the time, and Cadian still reads it? That's insane. Great check. And Heroic check another box on this T side. They're building in, Harry. There was a long streak of 6 there for Astralis, but back-to-back rounds and money on the line. That AWP save was worth its weight in gold. Blame even wants to get involved with a rifle buy, but otherwise it's eco for Astralis.
I mean, with the full B stack employed right out of the gate in this round, it's going to leave a huge gap that Heroic are currently exploiting. They've gotten all the way down long. And the fact that Cadian's running this knife out, I think he's really caught a feeling as to what's happened in this round. Rotates will start to come through. Zip and Farley have been dispatched towards this A site, but Heroic are already down long. They are so deep. Farley should not be ready for this. And there's the surprise. Now he's got the info, knows about the long play, but that's not going to make dealing with it any easier. Zip gone. And a man down now. These hero rifles going to struggle to get involved as the util reigns in. Heroic are running amok on the A bomb site, and there's nothing Astralis can do.
Even re-smoke's available, right? They clear toilets before they get that safe stick in. It was a perfect read, though, by Cadian. Players trying to come up through dumpster, getting dealt death. More headshots galore. Heroic looking for flawless rounds here. Config's going to get run down. There's so much confidence brewing for Heroic, and they don't want to allow any saves. Gumba stomps into CT spawn. That AWP is gone as well. And Farley only had 2k in the bank, let alone no armor, so someone's going to have to drop that over if Astralis want it. God, what a perfect call for Cadian. Completely avoiding what was a 5-man B setup, and even though Farley checked it too late. Dane on Dane action. Lund trying to pump the boys back up. They'll need it. No AWP here though. And Refresh just dry peeking. What a timing, they have no idea, but Config with a lovely flick will save the day.
With so much kind of damage done early on the back of utility to Heroic, this is actually a pretty awkward round. It might have only just started, but they're already in a 5-on-4 with Cadian low on health. Shush brought down to half. All these A1Ss, the FAMAS even, gonna hit like an AK to these two.
Well, let's not go too far.
Stown and Tessos might be feeling the bulk of the pressure here. Gonna look to them for resolutions in this one, trying to employ the boost. Right now, there's no angles available to it.
A quick bean can here for Heroic. Stown looking for his rations. They're checking it on timings. Will Zip see this one? Glaive does, and you can't go back for more. Once the jig is up, that is it. And Astralis now have great information. They even re-smoke Monster. That's perfect timing. It's one that Heroic can't afford to respect. They might just have to go through near the end of it. Spam, hoping to catch a crossing player. Astralis are out of utility. That is the one good thing for Heroic, but they've got none either. They can't flash their way back into this bomb site. They might have to save here, Harry.
Yeah, I think it's been a save since they lost that initial duel right at the start of the round with so much damage sustained early. There was really no coming back into this one, and that re-smoke in the final 30 seconds, that really sold, sold the deal on that one.
Yeah, it's an awkward round, but I'm not even against it for Heroic because we saw Refresh had the chance. They gave him a lot of trust to just try play out of B. And that's a kind of play that, at such a high level, you don't expect it because you expect a little more due diligence, right? Some util, some map control, announcing your presence. But Refresh got given so much room on short, he just decides to go for it. We saw it earlier in the half where he tried to walk through Monster Smoke. He didn't commit because he had to go back for Bomb. But that's just Heroic giving one of their stars a bit of faith, a bit of room, but it doesn't work. Ooh, yeah, okay. I buy it. Every time Heroic have seen long control for Astralis, they've sped it up on A short and run right by it through toilets. But right now, no one's going to see that setup. It's just one man holding very passive in middle. Heroic, another B lead.
This double long hold, getting a bit impatient, knowing that they have to get some value out of this. They've started to push, started to go aggressive here. Heroic, it's very late in the round, but that is so awkward. Farley needed that. Blame F's at least here to trade, but this is where, just as you highlighted, Hugo, Heroic are going to pick up the pace, moving up short. Shush leading the charge.
They missed the smoke.
Never ideal, but re-smoke available. That one's also missed the mark. Config's coming through it, and he catches them. Stown trades. Plant now coming in. Cadian doesn't want to commit with the gap in this dumpster smoke. Eventually he will. Glaive gives him the respect. Blame F still lost to the hands of time over at long, right? Having his kind of separate game on the side of this one as he's trying to find these Heroic players floating around the toilets. That's not the case, so eventually he's got to look to move back in. Cadian could be caught out in the open. Bad movement, and so there he is, punished with that flash. Stown up close, they know where he is, they've got him trapped here, but a lot of time has ticked off this bomb. Stown, they've smoked it, and now they look to move in. They're on it, they're sticking it. Stown's not firing off. There's the lineup! Stown! Unreal gameplay, and Blame is gone! 4 kills from the man, and Heroic are in with another.
I don't know how the hell Stown wins that. They are so suffocated in that round. Cadian gets flashed off, and you see he thought he made it around the corner. He wasn't even close, Harry. Running into the wall. Stown puts up all the glory. That is such a hard post plant for Heroic, because look at where the bomb's down, right? It's so closed in on truck. You can't play toilets. You can't play back on long. Blame's got control there. You have to stay in the middle of the open, and Stown does him dirty. Blame needed to swing earlier there. That's a bit of a mess for Astralis. They set themselves up for success in a 4-on-2 retake, but it all comes crumbling down.
And man, Farley's having a mare, isn't he?
Yeah.
Having a very rough go at it right now. You know, on Ancient, it wasn't too problematic. He was kind of just middle of the pack. Wasn't anything too discernible about it to point out. But here on Overpass, feels like maybe pressure's getting to him a little bit. You know,
on Ancient, it's more just like the role. Like you're a T-side AWP, you're not an AWP opener. Astralis aren't getting any space, not getting any post plants. Of course, you're having a bad time. But CT, Overpass, getting AWPs, you need to be putting up kills. You need to be finding 5-on-4s. Even when he's had picks, Harry, most of the time he's getting traded. That's not enough value from a $5,000 weapon. It's rough. And what started so strong for Astralis has closed up very quickly, with the room for Heroic to still win the half.
Blame tucked in, the barrel might betray him. Shush doesn't check for it.
Close.
Blame's now boxed in. Tess says wants this trade, and it's only going to make matters worse. Blame F doubles up on the short side. And so Heroic now put into an awkward position here. They went forth, they tried to get this space over towards the A site to act as a bit of a staging platform for this hit. It's not gone their way. And even though Astralis have now given them the room they were looking for, it's by design, just playing a numbers game on this one.
Yeah, it's a bit of a spacing problem again for Heroic. Not that they expected a player in that weird divider position. It's very dangerous. You can get wallbanged as well. But we've seen Heroic saving a 4v5 already. You know, I'm not sure how much faith I have in them winning this one, especially with Astralis drawing a fourth player up on top. They've got a flank set up by Zip. Katie's going to molly over on the truck. That's a really good molly. There's no smokes. One player's up in front. The other two are getting cooked a little bit, singed by the fire. Nice check for Katie, and Config puts up two. Katie flicks galore, but Config lays down the law, and Astralis have at least won the half. They don't doubt themselves there, staying strong on the A stack. And Heroic, what have you got for us coming into the last chance at the end of the half?
I almost wonder if we see something more like B-centric again. They were obsessed with it early on. When the money's low, it's normally a bit of a go-to for this Heroic squad, and that's what we're getting right out of the gate. Fake util over in mid out of Testes, just to give the illusion that they've extinguished this molly and the Heroic players are playing in towards mid. That's not the case. They've grouped everyone outside of this B site. Blame F waits in con, could come in with a backstab, but he's going to miss the window on it. Missed shot for Farley as they move in. Zip, good for a double. He does his part in the round. Now it's up to Farley around the pillar with support from Config. They hold on. Out on the monster side, Cadian cannot find a way back in. And with the bomb already so deep inside of that B site, this is now a recovery mission for Heroic.
Yeah, I like the play, but at a certain point it will be expected, and it's not like Cadian has anything to try and make enough noise to sell a fake. He's even coming to join this play. Remember, folks, the bomb is in the middle of the site. Astralis is standing on top of it. And so this one, it's got a timer on the play, but there's hallways, there's chances, there's gaps to be found. Blame locks it down. Are they ready for another man, though? A little bit late to the party. Cadian gives it a go, but ultimately Astralis are on to 9 by the end of the half. Backstab again. This time it hits for Cadian, but now all eyes look towards heaven, and Farley should be the one to end the show as well. Shot hits, Cadian 10 health, and Farley will find the finisher. Astralis take 9 at the end of the half. And I gotta say, Zip put on a really good showing in this first half of this map. Solid B bomb site defense. Heroic could rarely break through, especially on these ecos, these fast Mach 10 rushes. They get denied by many multi-kills from Zip and Glaive.
All right, at 9-6, is that going to be enough? Because we've seen teams rack up good CT halves versus Heroic here. But one thing always remains consistent. No matter how many you get in that first half on a Heroic pick of Overpass, their CT side is always so dependable, so consistent. So even though Astralis are in the lead right now, nothing is guaranteed. A pistol round would really help make this that much easier for Astralis in this spot. They're going to start to run up con with 3. The CZ of Cadian is bested right away. It's Zip, the spearhead to this con push. And even though there's support moving through the short side, they might end up making matters worse if Stown doesn't connect some blinders here.
They're waiting for the reload as well. 3 bullets left. If he gets that off, they can run at him. Blame is so close, he shuts the door and just provides that path out for Astralis. They wanted to kill, but if they don't get it, 5-on-4 will do. And a full reset, because we just... Oh, sorry. Stown just saw the players going back up top. We have Heroic split 2-2. Not an ideal position in this round. On the fly, Heaven Smoke goes out for Astralis, and out they bound.
Yeah, they're moving in and they're moving fast. Refresh, gonna have to do the heavy lifting. His teammates tagged down so low on the short side, and he's gone after one. Shush! Suddenly out of nowhere is in with a double. The third man at the back of B has stepped up when it mattered most. And out through the short side, Blame is now trapped. Dueling with the con man. Testes gets rid of him. It's going to fall to Glaive, the man at the helm of Astralis. And he is deleted on that swing. Shush gets it done. The pistol round secured now. And Heroic is suddenly right back into this map.
Yeah, you can't even really fault Astralis too much for that one, other than the late short peek back into the con player. Like, when they triple entry B, no surprise they're playing aggressive. No surprise they're trying to take a bit more space towards pit. But with no smokes down, no flashes in the face of Heroic, it's open season for Shush, and he just shoots everyone in the head. Beautiful round from that guy. And now, yeah, a pistol round for Astralis would have been everything to just make this an easy affair. Now they've got to work even harder on Heroic's pick, as this gap can close up quick. Bomb plant, I wonder if we see a force buy with a couple of rifles. Yes, indeed. Astralis go right for it. 3 AKs, this is a damn good investment. Heroic have to watch out.
Oh, Blame, he wants the boost. He wants you to give him this fight. Oh, he will get given it, but didn't look ready for it. Was eyeing it up the entire time. Instead, going to do his work over towards short. Refresh, his aggro is punished. And Zip, not content with just the one kill, wanted to chance it all over again. Keeping themselves in a 4-on-3 is big. Astralis, they might not be able to retrieve that AK. It might be lost down in the connector for now. But they're at least sat pretty. Moving up into the A play. One man here, Tesses, over at long. He's playing this on timings. They're going to get into the site behind him. Just a question of when will he consider it? When will he check? Right now is the answer, and that's the bomb tumbling away from Astralis. Testes has it, sat on it like a mother hen to her eggs, and look at him go. He's lighting up this push into the A play, wrapped eventually by Blame F. But the rotations are arriving, and Stown, it's an awkward engagement, but he does take it across the line, leaving it all on Blame F in the clutch.
Flanks on flanks, though. Shush has a great timing. There's no kit for Heroic, and he's got to be quick on this backstab. Blame has no idea, and Heroic will find 8 off the back of it. It's a very risky flank, right? Especially if Blame is given the room to go back to toilets and play that post plant. But what a read to go all the way round long and catch Blame with his back turned. Perfect round for Heroic, saved after Astralis started it very strong. Remember, that was a 3 AK force buy, and they got a double opener, a 2-for-1, but they couldn't quite close. That bomb is so annoying as well. When you get dropped holding it, look how it flies here into the feet of Tesses. It couldn't have gone in a more awkward position for Astralis to try and retrieve it. They had to wait so long on Blame to flank that player.
Astralis have put money into this one again.
They're playing both sides. They can still buy next. Blame will struggle, but everyone else is going to be okay, especially if they can get a bomb plant. It's not an ideal position, but it shows the frustration that Astralis are feeling.
Double con setup. Cadian wanted that trade, but Shush has stolen it from him. Wallbang connects, yeah. Astralis might just hit the go button on the monster push. Blame leading the charge with this AK. Not often you see him at the front of the pack, but here he is, and he can't get the opener. On the short side, it's a triple swing. Heroic and everybody there, they were so ready for that B play. And it's elation for Cadian as his team equalize this up at 9-all.
Yeah, very scary game right now for Astralis, right? Not just that CT favor, but the depth of Overpass that Heroic have shown all year as well. Both teams have been frequenting this map, but numbers have certainly been better for Heroic, just marginally. Right now, it looks like they are poised and ready to 2-0 this series. We're going to need some blinding rounds out of Astralis near the end of this one. Here's the buy, as said, Blame will suffer. But everyone else armed and dangerous. Even Farley, despite his lack of AWP. Flash to party, but none for long, not yet. Refresh, given an out. He'll take it. Double setup with Tess's. Even smoked out a party with our Astralis. Gonna have to waste serious time just to clear it out, check their corners. But as it fades, map control getting taken. Cadian trying to spam them back. Right now, Heroic have one of those classic gambles, and boy, are they right.
Oh, that's awkward for Farley, man. Had a chance there, but a double peek as he has the lineup. It ends up with Stown picking up this early man. Config has brought us back into a 4-on-4, which gives Astralis a little bit of breathing room here. I know the Glaive is down on B short right now, looking to get poised to take some control while his teammates are working this mid area. But there aren't trades. Oh. It's not favorable, and the bomb is now out in the open, worlds apart from Glaive, who even though he's made it into B and has that chance at the 1v1, he's now embarking on a far greater journey. A 1v2 up the connector, smoked off. He tries to run it. Doesn't want to go through with only 20 seconds left. He doesn't have many other choices if he wants to win this. And so he is out of there. Heroic, they've stolen this round right from under his nose. He might get some kills on the exit, but there isn't time to win it. It's 10 on the board for Heroic.
Yeah, Glaive's smart enough to run away there just to save. He knows that Refresh with the bomb down is just going to put distance between himself and that fight. Knows he can win it to the clock. What a read for Heroic. I've got to say, it has felt like Cadian has had some incredible calling in this game, not just on T side, finding a lot of gaps, but even these few CT rounds we've seen, right? They stack heavy on B against the pistols. They destroy Astralis on that eco round. Here in the first 4-buy, they go 4 on A. Look at these toilets crossfires. Every single fight comes up for Heroic. There's one trade in the midst there for Blame, but you're just getting swung from every single angle. Astralis can't get comfortable. And now Cadian's got the AWP out. First one of the half. Oops.
As an opener, and as the responses try to filter in, Heroic is so ready for this. Blame might have gotten one, but they need to deal with this second short player. Refresh given the room, given the respect to get out of there with a bit of a helping hand from Utility. Means that Heroic maintain the 4-on-3. Even taking some liberties with Monster Peaks, trying to get the info as to whether or not this is the B play. With Astralis set up in mid and still holding on to this con control, it could culminate down towards this B side, but that doesn't look like the intention here.
Can't wait forever.
Right as Astralis have lent into B, Heroic start to get a bit shifty with this second man on A and send him down into the lower site. It's another read from Heroic. Astralis are walking in to the more stacked of the two. 3 players here for the Heroic squad. A double monster setup. Down's going to deal with the monster push, and the third man up short is wiped out by Cadian on that rotate down from A. They're out reading them. They're out gunning them. Heroic are building into this CT side in a very terrifying way, and we've seen it consistently throughout this event. No matter what you put up on your first half, on your CT side, it never feels like it was enough to oust Cadian and his boys from the server.
Yeah, flawless CT side right now. This is getting very scary. Farley, he's got his AWP. Cadian won't be taking spawns. It's Stown instead throwing himself into middle with the flash. Glaive is gone. Stown will escape with his life somehow. Farley posts up, but no repeats for Heroic. They've got the 5-on-4. They've got all the room in the world. Astralis have seemed to figure this one out. There's a big gaping gap in B. It's getting filled right now by Shush dropping back through heaven. Astralis, if they went there, they could have had the bomb site, but Heroic starting 5 on A. Have now fallen back into a more standard setup. This is a great position for Shush to get back up there in time before the smoke fades. But he'll just tuck instead, try and play anti-flash off the back of Refresh. He's now back on jail, and yeah, look how good this angle is. Zip didn't even see him there. Already a lot of damage done, and Heroic have done a good job of holding on to Util. They have a smoke still left. One just went out in the monster at 48 seconds. Zip still getting bullied by this random spam. Astralis have found the gap, but they're going to end up walking into what is an AWP for Heroic on the angle. And with Astralis already having low players, if Katie finds a pick here and then backs up to play his nade, he can drop it on default and cause a lot of problems for Astralis.
The uncrowned kings of Danish Counter-Strike going to have to meet their attempted usurpers head-on in this A play. And that's a tag out of Cadian. Stown is here to hold the line. As they look to move in, they've got to get past this double hold, and there's even more where that came from. Cadian meets them with the USP. Still flawless on this CT side. Astralis yet to make a dent.
Oh, the final boss of Danish CS. And Astralis, they just can't find the weak link. They can't find the soft area to break through. Heroic's gambles continue to put up rounds. And we're running out of them. We're running out of room. Time for Astralis ticking quickly. They need a solution. We've seen pretty measured rounds, all things considered, right? No fast rushes. And, other than that one eco earlier in the half for Astralis, they've been pretty slow in these gun rounds as well. Giving Heroic ample time to make moves and get aggressive, get info.
It's so scary though, because like whenever you see Heroic here on Overpass, like Astralis have been resisting it for as long as they can, but eventually you're kind of forced to play Heroic's game. You know, the aggro, the terms of engagement, it's all being set by Heroic right now. At Astralis, they need a round to try and regain a bit of control. Over in mid, a couple of missed shots from this AWP, and these pistols are getting closer. Cadian needs support, and here it is. Refresh and Stown move in. Sure, they might have lost their IGL, but they've quelled all resistance past that point, and there's Stown with the closer, soaring towards the finish line. Our Heroic, they're looking for a dominant path here, fighting all the way through that lower bracket, right? The odds were against them there. There was no room for second chances, no room for mistakes, and it's been damn near flawless since we got to the playoffs. Here in the grand final, they're giving it their all, and they're making Astralis look lost on this T side of Overpass.
Yeah, completely. I can't believe Katie misses so many shots there, and still Astralis, they kill him, but they get no space from it, right? Two more CTs on the site, ready to trade and stop any space from getting taken. Cadian starts calm, mollied out. Got to give it up. Doesn't want to die in this one-and-done position like Farley did many a time. And they're even going to start to make moves. Careful! Spam for config connects, and they still flash through. Fearless are Heroic. Shush right up in the picture, but Blame comes in from short. Gets that opening kill. This is it for Astralis. They have to win this round. A 5-on-4, where don't be surprised if you see Heroic fully stack a bomb site together off the back of a read. Gonna try and throw in a mid-round boost. But Astralis, this is their chance now, their opportunity to finally get on the board.
Boost gives them the info that Water and Short are both cleared. They know that no one from Astralis was here. And so this is where, in the kind of, mid-round of the game, this is where Heroic take their gambles. A couple of info plays to influence the decision. They saw no one on that B side of the map when they boosted. And so now, this is where the gambling begins. They start to shift everyone into this A bomb site.
Oh my God, Harry.
And Astralis are coming their way.
And the man at the helm, Cadian in the scope, hits his shot, headshot to Zip. Farley's out wide, they come to you, and Refresh dominates 2. Blame all alone, 1v5, and there's no getting out of here alive. Heroic have everyone in the right place, rent-free. And you just can't pull the wool over Cadian's eyes. Dominance over their Danish counterparts. Heroic stand tall again. A 5-on-4 untraded. And Astralis walk into the meat grinder.
It's so impressive, man. And you know, you love all the little details that lead up to that moment. It's not like Cadian's just blindly calling on a feeling. They have some protocols in place just to make sure that it was never meant to be B. They don't at all feel the pressure, even in a 5-on-4 like that. Even when the first kill is so untradeable, even when it feels like that, had all the makings of a good start for Astralis, Heroic remain composed, and it's put them onto 14. As a reminder, this was a 9-6 half to Astralis. They are yet to put a T-side round on the board. This might be a different kind of dominance out of Heroic to close out this grand final.
Yeah, what a statement it would be, right, when stage matches so often let this team down. Great grenades. Got to give it to that. Astralis do manage to get Stown out of the picture early. One of the top performers in the server, if not the top. But yeah, this is what has been the kryptonite for Heroic, and right now they are holding their heads high. Okay, Astralis, they get another chance. They get a repeat of the previous round, but this one's a lot prettier. Not only is it early enough that Heroic don't grab that info, but it's not even the AWP on the bomb site. It's Tessas. He's going to hear this. He's going to call scrambled, panic those rotations. 1 minute on the clock. He's flashed out of the site. They clear him, and they'll get the kill. This is it. This is Astralis breaking back, finally finding their first T-side round.
Yeah, 8 in a row for Heroic, but even they know when to write one off, right?
Yeah.
And this is definitely one of those rounds. A bit of a pace change there. Astralis just full grouping, committing to the A hit after Config nails the first, and then they follow through.
Part of that is off the nade stack as well, right? We even saw that in the first half. When you throw those nade stacks towards B, very often will a team commit off the back of it and just go into the site. Kill or not, but kill especially, knowing you can find that timing where the site is weakened. So Heroic kind of just doubled down on it, didn't want to move a muscle. Nice call from Glaive to get out of there. And Config gets both kills to win the round. 10 now for Astralis. Either they springboard off it and we have a game, or Heroic come back in fighting and this one's finished.
Yeah, that's the only thing, right? It's going to be hard to replicate the successes that this round saw early on, right? It's not every day that the nade stack's going to net you that opener. It's not every day that you get that kind of free path over towards A. And so this is like the ultimate test now, right? You've got your first on the board. Maybe that brings with it a bit of confidence, a bit of relief, but it's going to take a lot more than that to keep these rounds racking up on the Astralis side. A real test of character, not so much for the old faces, but for the new boys on the block. Still waiting to see even more out of Farley. If he could get switched online, who knows? Nades go back in, and they're going to do damage once more. No kill this time around, but it will soften Refresh up.
Hey, I like that they go for it again. I mean, Heroic haven't learned their lesson. Gasping for information. Refresh is put on 10, but a smoke spam kill comes the way of Config. Not ideal. That was a deep spray for Shush. Flame, careful. Lessons getting learned the hard way in this round.
Look at this though, man. If you try to go A, if you think that after that, you know, maybe the solution is to try and get a bit of onus over middle, try to take this toilets control, Heroic have got a nasty surprise in store for you. There was no winning that fight for Farley. He's fully alone in the push. And now out towards long. Glaive's desperately trying to pick up pieces. There's the first, but a second man ready to swing, as Tess says. Gonna get rid of the IGL of Astralis, who's now leading from beyond the grave. Zip and Blame F left in the 2 versus 4. And with a third man still waiting in the toilets that they don't even know about, this fight is nowhere near done. Blame F, he might have a kill teed up here. He might have a late trade to Tesses, but the real battle is only just beginning.
30 seconds to do it as well. He can upgrade, but he's got to go here and now. Cadian's already pummeling that rotate, running up the stairs. Blame throws in the smokes. He can lob all the util he wants. There's still a man tucked in right close. It's Refresh, 10 health. Blame, will he clear this corner? Doesn't look like it. 10 seconds, he won't even look. And Refresh find match point, championship point here at Pinnacle Cup for Heroic.
Yeah, man, you know, this Astralis might not be what the old Astralis squad was, but in this matchup, it's still a hurdle, still a significant one at that for Heroic to overcome. There's a lot of history between these teams. It's a Danish derby as well. There's always thrown up some interesting results, and yet still, it's been Heroic through and through, head and shoulders throughout this whole damn thing that have looked like the better team, and all of this happens on a lower bracket run of Dreams. 15 now on the board, 5 kills away from picking up the title here in Lund.
Yeah, I won't even get ahead of myself with the 5-on-4, right? Zip gets dinked as well, he's low, and Heroic have won these positions before. The aggression is being held, Blame cleared in the corner, not the first time he's tried that cubby. Stoun's one step ahead, Refresh takes the orb, and Heroic, look at the setup, everyone's here, and they're winning all the fights. Config gone, dry peaks for Astralis, dig their graves deep. Farley may have room, but he's not been reliable in this series. And even then, Heroic split 2-2. Faith in their players to close out this final. 150 grand for first place. Not bad for a team that's put together millions over the years.
Cadian, they don't know about him. Glaive, oh my god, he thinks he's found a gap. But in reality, the moment he tries to go any wider, Cadian's got him dead to rights. Now out through Monster, Zip with the first, still another man on short. They know about him, they know what's happening here. 35 seconds, smoke goes out, Cadian repositions. Still trying to keep the fight going from the short side. Farley's smoked off as well. 30 left on the clock, time is running out for Astralis. Eventually they've just got to dedicate, and they're going to try and get real tricky with it in the final 20 seconds. They're running up Con, but Tesses is here, waiting, lying in wait, ahead of time.
15 seconds, you can't clear this angle, there's just not enough time. Tessa's got to fight for the site, for the life, and for the entire series. He'll fall, Zip gets a plant, and he's got to go back to his old ways, his clutch ways in this one-on-one against the captain of Heroic. He'll win it. 11 rounds, 4 kills. The guy who is dinked in Con to start the round puts it all down for Astralis. They needed that. They need every single one. 4 more in between Astralis and overtime.
And Zip looks like a whole new player, man, a whole different man, right? Like the numbers he's been putting up in this grand final have actually been great. And he, as you kind of pointed out, first half CT side, he was a monster down on the B side. Yeah. He keeps them in that round there with a big 4K, despite being 10 health the entire time. And it's because of Zip that this grand final is not over yet.
Oh my god, they're going to go. They've got to wait, the train is in the way. They can't throw the Molotov. Cadian misses his shot. They try and push off the back of it, but flashes back for Heroic, and they murder them in the tunnel. 2 for Shush. Config silences him. Astralis can play the mid-round. This is a great position to be in right now. 3-on-3, but look at Tesses. Space Taker closing the net. Astralis don't know, but their backline is corrupted. They can make it out through the middle. Zip has done that at least, but this bomb is trapped. Farley may be holding it, but it's a scary fight indeed. He's running it. Tess has heard it, and he's dropped the bomb again.
With a minute left, that's problematic. Zip's going to try and respond here, but if he falls, this shouldn't be happening. Zip's knocked out, and so Config, 6 HP in the 1v3. It's not looking good. Tesses has got his number over in mid.
World against him. Silence Dex the server. Config has to clear every corner, and he doesn't have the time to do it. 30 seconds. Down he goes into the doldrums, but here's where Refresh waits in the cubby. Config, surely no way. This is an impossible angle to clear of 50-50, and it's done! 16-11. Heroic pick it up. They are your champions. They take down Astralis with ease, 2-0, and to think that was done off of a near flawless CT side. Some incredible calling from Cadian coming out of this series, and as you said earlier, Harry, that was the lower bracket run of Dreams for Heroic.
Yeah, man, it's not just winning here. It's not just putting a trophy on the table. It's who they beat. It's how they did it. This was a monumental effort out of Heroic. It was a tournament that they were destined to win. Some said they had to win to justify this team, and they've been able to do it despite being on the back foot since day one.
Yeah, commiserations for Astralis. That one has to hurt. They put up a fight. They made it close, at least in that map, but ultimately it's Heroic, the team that always were supposed to win, the only top 10 team team at the event. They may have fielded an L to Fnatic on day one, but otherwise flawless on their run through the rest of the Pinnacle Cup. And that's got to feel good, right? Heroic, a team that's had trouble on stage matches before. They beat their demons, they put it together, and they established Danish dominance once more.
Yeah, man, the uncrowned kings of Denmark now really usurping that throne and looking to take it all home. It is one hell of a sight to see, man, and they should be nothing but proud as to how they've put this one together.
Yeah, give them a clap, folks. They've earned your respect today, Glaive as well. Knows when the challenge was too much, too tough. And Cadian at the helm of all of this, right? He's the one who's kept this brotherhood together through thick and thin. Heroic has certainly had their fair share of problems over these last couple of years, but despite all of that, no changes needed, and maybe a brighter future for a team that we've yet to see lift these trophies and find success on stages. Maybe today is their day after all, and maybe today is the start of something new. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the victors of the Pinnacle Cup Championship. You know who it is. It's Heroic!
I'm going to sneak in here really quickly. We want to chat to you guys before you celebrate with your photos. Cadian, that was a dominating 2-0 win. And if any game was ever going to make a statement, that was one hell of a statement to make.
It sure was. It's so deserved that this team finally gets a trophy. Maybe it's one of the smaller ones, but this crowd in Lund, they make it sound like it's a big one. Thank you, guys.
I mean, Cadian's touched on it, but I'm going to run on over here to the coach. Exists to win this with this team in front of a Swedish crowd. What does this mean to you and to all the boys?
It means a lot. Winning on the home soil, it's special. And winning the first land trophy with Heroic, it's amazing.
Does this shut up the critics now? It shows that Heroic can cross the line. I've given you all a lot of a hard time about that during this week. You've proven you can now. What's the next step?
I mean, the experts are always going to hate us, but yeah, we're going to continue, and this is just the beginning.
Gents, well done. The crowd here wants to celebrate. Paula, I think I want to celebrate too, so I'm going to hand this one over to you.
Tonight we all celebrate Counter-Strike at the end of the Pinnacle Cup Championship 2022. But to the victor, the spoils. Heroic fought their way through this tournament, falling into the lower bracket, but now when it's all said and done, they reign as the kings of the North.
What an incredible journey these guys have had throughout ups and downs, throughout criticisms, throughout drama, throughout vendettas. It's been a crazy, crazy time for these guys. And my goodness, this could not have come at a better time for them. This trophy is so freaking deserved.
Golden, it's been a common theme that we've mentioned about Heroic, that this Pinnacle Cup Championship was an important win, and they've achieved that. Golden, at the spot that Heroic are now, do we see that there's even more potential to be reached?
So yeah, they've broken their barrier. So why they got criticism for it before was just because